r/AskReddit, what did you accidentally learn about someone else's sex life? My bed is right next to the wall that I share with my neighbor. She's around my age and has a BF. I've heard them have sex often, usually ignore it as they also hear me with my BF. Recently though I heard them going at it, and when they climaxed one of them said bruh. Couldn't tell who said it but didn't know people said bruh when orgasming. The idea that someone does the bruh meme at the point of climax is fucking killing me LMAO. My best friend's mother created an Instagram private account where she uploaded some questionable pictures and videos with some funny action in them. Nothing much other than naked business with lots of dark shadows that showed literally nothing, except a close-up picture of her bare boobs. She followed me, I followed her back, found all of that. Unfollowed and never said a thing. She no longer has the account, Instagram police must have taken it down I guess. She definitely knew it was you. Learned my friend is bi and also into pegging when I found his and his wife's NSFW Reddit account while looking at porn. A coworker sent a text to me and not his wife. It was about getting his shots that harden his member for long periods of time. It apparently had something to do with having hours and hours of sex. The dude was weird. He watched porn at work all the time, I mean all the time. That text was never meant for his wife. My company had a raffle. First prize was one of those piston grip massager deals. Our head officer was like, good for guys, too, which was met with a collective oh, okay. You don't get promoted from head specialist without knowing these kinds of things. A coworker peed all over her ex during sex because she had bladder problems, farted too loud, which made her laugh and pee, then it made her laugh even more and the pee kept flooding him and the bed. My mom was very anti-birth control but was more than happy to take it in the ass instead. Thanks Dad for giving me that information. Some people pay good money for that very experience. Good fucking God. So she's single now? Did you work at Girl Defined? She needs a bladder sling. Medical insurance typically pays for it. Oh, the things you hear when walls are too thin. I once learned my neighbor's fondness for opera music during intimate moments. People of culture. Harder Bubba. Pavarotti intensifies. My mom was going through my great-grandma's stuff when she passed away. She found a box of old photos of her and great-grandpa engaging in BDSM activities from the 60s. Didn't need to see that LOL but you go Gramps LOL. Two of my friends were out on a walk one day and one of them accidentally and unknowingly started a Facebook live video. Friend A was complaining about how her BF's penis is too small, and friend B was complaining about how her vibrator messed up coochie. It was several hours before this live video was taken down. And GT, her vibrator messed up coochie. Your mother's a trooper. Be proud, be proud. What does this mean? And GT, friend A was complaining about how her BF's penis is too small. Rip to that poor bastard's self-esteem. A friend of mine wears a clunky silver bracelet and never takes it off. It wasn't particularly pretty or anything. I asked what, if any, significance it had. She said bluntly, it means my boyfriend owns me and I'm his sex slave. So it's a reminder to me and everyone around me that I'm his and I do what he tells me. I was like, you could have just said no significance, really? But I asked, so. Edit, grammar. Maybe her master requires her to answer with blunt candor when specifically asked about the bracelet. When we were younger, the mailman accidentally put our neighbor's mail in our mailbox. There was a catalog for anal toys and leather gear. And BDSM gear. Complete with black and white pictures of man-on-man loving, showing exactly how to use the various implements. Our neighbor was a single dad. Not that we cared one bit about his orientation or proclivities. And, I assume his longtime girlfriend knew, but I was a shock to see. Very unexpected. I babysat for my nephew a lot during the pandemic. At one point my nephew showed me the yoga swing they installed, hanging from the ceiling, in their spare bedroom. So I found out my brother and Sil installed a sex swing. I have a yoga sling in my room. It's used for yoga 25% of the time. The kid swinging in it 70% of the time. And sighting 4%. That one of my closest friends in college was into water sports. He just randomly felt the need to tell us after play water sports at the community pool. Did he like watching Michael Phelps? Or more of a diving guy? My wife's therapist accidentally found out a lot more about our sex life than what she wanted to know. Wife was taking and sending a whole bunch of really raunchy pictures and descriptions of what she wanted to do when I got home and sending them to me when I was at work, but halfway through sending clicked the wrong person to text them to. The fact you were not a pain in the ass is the only reason you are here, then. Congrats. Time for a new therapist. Well, I see your marriage is going well. My mom, who is black, loves white boy on black girl gangbangs. Dude, how do you know that about your mom? A guy I work with was going through hard times with his wife. She was at a mutual friend's house drunk off her ass and started talking about how she didn't fuck him anymore. The only thing she'd let him do was jerk off while watching her shower. But he had to pay her $50 each time. My poor guy. I learned way more about my parents' sex life than I ever wanted to know by popping the unlabeled VHS tape I found in their room into the VCR. Up there in top 5 regrettable moments of my life. I had a client just tell me his wife fucked her boss and he wants me to build a bathroom in his basement. He said my wife wants a bathroom like her boss's she fucked but thinks it would be weird to call him and ask for some pictures. And says he doesn't want her to because she will fuck him again. I'm thinking to myself, fuck that guy and your wife and his bathroom. WTF. Came home early from work one night. Turned out my wife's sex life was a whole lot better than mine. Good for her, I say. Once she was gone, my sex life became remarkably better too. True love is hard to find. Sometimes you think you have true love and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego and a couple of nude people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a goddamn magic show ready to double team your girlfriend. There are some things that should remain private between a parent and their kids. That the head of marketing was heavily into BDSM and had a website through which he would organize parties. We found out at a wedding that someone on our table keeps the used condoms after sex in a tin under the bed. Couldn't look him in the eye all day, bloke probably thinks I am weird. My son's second cousin and her husband are 32. At their wedding in 2019, I found out the husband likes to be pegged in red lingerie. He loves chewing gum. He's about my height of 5 to 10 and probably 300 pounds. His wife calls him Big Red in the bedroom. Chewing gum? That's enough internet for me today. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. When you search on Reddit, make sure to turn off NSFW. The amount of individual people's fetishes you accidentally learn about when looking up things with the city or state mentioned in the search are wild. But that's the point of Reddit. To discover. My friend invited me to fly out and see their new house. While they were giving a tour of the place, Lee saw some huge butt plugs in the unmade bed. Mill sounds like a pigeon cooing when she's having an orgasm. I also learned the in-laws' dividing walls are paper thin. Edit. Oh, while talking about in-laws, my sister-in-law loves anal sex. Don't ask how I know, but I can honestly say I wish I didn't. Alright, since nobody else is going to ask. How do you know your sil loves anal? So you're a butt baby. That a work friend turned into a size queen who started cheating on her husband regularly during PPD from their second child. Damn, poor dude. I always hear about size queens but I never meet any. I sat down at my dad and stepmom's desk in their home office once. Sitting there was a piece of paper with a list on it and a header, things to do before sex. Step 1 was wash genitals. I couldn't bring myself to read the rest of the list and got the hell out of there. To this day I wonder why was a list necessary, what was on the rest of the list, and whose genitals were so gross that it necessitated step 1. I was hanging out with a friend when his next door neighbor walked past. When she was out of earshot, he whispered to me, "She's a screamer." My mom and my older sister were sitting in the living room talking about my sister's sex life with her husband. I walked into my sister saying it's not working for me. He has such a small dick. Found out from his drunk girlfriend that one of my best friends likes to be ordered around and sleeps at the end of the bed like a cat, which is made funnier because he's an absolutely massive guy who's into powerlifting. Also found out that he's got a penis the size of an arm, which was somehow the less surprising part. Some people just have it all. Does his massive unit hang off the foot of the bed while he's sleeping? Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again. Reddit glitch out.